Narcissists quickly pick up on just the very thing that they need to say and do to provoke certain feelings in their victims, to ensure that you won't leave and that they maintain control by rendering you defenseless. But there's one feeling in particular that hands down is the most brutal, to which is that of the never-ending roller coaster ride of disappointment. The continuous turns, twists, and loop-de-loops has you forever shifting from setting you up to be disappointed, or they're making you feel like a disappointment. Because what makes disappointment so impactful is that it plays and toys on elements from both past and future, as well as leaves one with a sense that we either let down or were let down by someone that we care about, due to the fact that disappointment stems explicitly from unmet aspirations or expectations that we have of ourselves or that others are hoping for from us. But why this becomes such a profound problem when dealing with a narcissist is not only that they have such outlandish and ludicrous expectations for you to be some delusional kind of perfect, but more so in that these expectations are designed and altered to guarantee that you will fail every time. Because as much as they like to rub in your face that you fell short in your ability to meet the satisfactory requirements, they did not really want or intend to let you successfully achieve these any more than they intended to come through with any of their empty promises or fake plans for the future. But since they are the only ones privy to this tidbit of information, and put on quite a show to keep that part top secret. Just as any other time, disappointment arises from unmet expectations, leads to triggering about other negative thoughts and emotions such as sadness and rejection, followed up by the forward-looking element and our seeking out ways and reevaluating our expectations of others and or how we can improve our strategies in order for us to reach our goals or meet the expectations that we have of ourselves or that others have for us. With studies showing how disappointment is directly linked to our brain's reward center and how there is a decreased activity of dopamine, also known as our pleasure hormone, when expected rewards fail to materialize, concluding that the feeling of disappointment isn't just merely a subjective emotional state, but has tangible biological manifestations that can largely influence decision-making and our behaviors, particularly in instances where an individual undergoes repeated experiences creating these feelings of disappointment, such as highly traumatic relationships involving emotional abuse or emotional neglect, that often intersect with other emotional states that will eventually lead to learned helplessness, due to feeling like they not only let others down or aren't worthy enough for others to not let them down, but to become disappointed in themselves, developing pervasive thoughts of inadequacies that eventually, in way of trying to avoid this intolerable sensation, cause many to become either a people pleaser, perfectionist, or give up altogether due to this feeling of hopelessness and helplessness. And from within these negative feelings that emerge, such as shame, blame, and not feeling worthy or enough, as well as being consumed by these pervasive thoughts of inadequacy that are a major contributor into why many survivors become paralyzed by self-doubt and are unable to move forward, desperately trying to obtain some sort of closure or alternative explanation to soothe the pain of being repeatedly let down, in the thinking that closure will grant them a peace of mind. That unfortunately, when trying to pursue closure after enduring narcissistic abuse, such attempts inevitably only exacerbate the conflict, create new grievances, and or lead to more pain for you. Because narcissists do not solve problems, especially not problems that they intentionally and deliberately created for you. Oh, hell no. It ain't gonna happen. They are not going to give closure, because not doing so benefits them, as they know this keeps you right where they want you, wallowing in the self-doubt that they have manufactured. But you see, here's the thing. As much as it hurts, and as much as we want to make sense of it, or even just a teeny tiny little sliver of it, in the end, it still won't change but a damn thing. It's not going to get you a different outcome, nor is it what ultimately will grant you a peace of mind, any more than the narcissist will use the lessons from past relationships to learn from, and which would be a big fat zero. Not only do they refuse to take accountability or ownership of any of their wrongdoings or malevolent behaviors, but their wrongdoings and malevolence is the very point. And deep down, we know that their apologies are as empty as their promises, just as any regrets that they claim to have for hurting you would be just as shallow as any of the other BS bebopping around in there on their tongue, waiting to come shooting out like a bottle rocket the next time that their lips move. Because the only thing that means anything of value or importance to them is their delusional world. Seeing you suffer and agonize over these unanswered questions makes them feel good, because to see you suffer is to see you go against your own will. And this fuels their God complex and delusional beliefs of being in control of all. They can play God all they want, carry on pretending that Fantasyland truly exists, and remain jammed so far up the ass of their fictional self that the only part of them exposed to reality are their feet, so they can keep on trying to run from it anytime it comes a knocking. But it doesn't matter how fast they run or how good they hide. At some point, reality is going to catch up. And when it does, they are going to find out just how big that bitch known as karma truly is. Each and every one of their deplorable, despicable, hateful, inhumane treatments that they bestow onto others only further confirms their special reservation in the lake of fire in the sky. But that is all them. And by accepting and realize that as much as it feels like rejection or that you're a disappointment was never a matter of your efforts not being up to snuff, nor does it have anything to do with you being unlikable, unlovable, undesirable, unworthy. You weren't a bad child, a bad friend, a bad partner, nor are you a bad person or foolish for getting duped in to their bullshit. And they don't have any regrets, feel bad about hurting you, or miss you in the sense that you want to hear, because they do not think and behave like the average person at all, not even a little bit. And though it is one hard pill to have to swallow, that somebody could methodically go about setting you up to intentionally feel the pain, heartache, and emotional anguish that you're feeling, and as much of a personal attack as it feels like it is, none of it was personal. None of it was about you. Zero things. Once you are able to face this with radical acceptance, you will then be able to begin on your journey to truly healing. And within this, realize sometimes not getting what we want turn out to be a blessing in disguise. And that though you didn't get the closure or make them see how wrong, unjust, and unfair they are, but by letting go of this idea and rather start digging deep and remembering who you are, knowing that you deserve so much more, believing that you are enough, and are no longer willing to participate in their twisted game or tolerate their abuse, what you'll get a chance to get back the life that they tried to take from you so that they could fulfill their own selfish needs, carry on being Captain Pathetic, most delusionally superior person on the planet by sucking the life from your being. And well, some say that if you love someone, set them free. So take the advice, not for Captain Pathetic, but for yourself. Love yourself enough to be free. Free from the abuse, free from the bullshit that they have implanted in your psyche, free from the past of these demons haunting your every move, free to live the life that you were born to live and was in your destiny to become, which I can assure you was never to be someone else's doormat that they could wipe their crap on and take advantage of. And try to remember, birds aren't afraid of falling off of the highest branches because they know that they have wings. So wear your scars as wings. Remember who you are. Remember you are worth and deserve so much more than these deplorable meat sacks could ever give you. Fight for you. Focus on you. Fuck the narcissist.